May, there was an event that really fired up the Kendo community, wasn't there? It was the first Asia-Oceania Kendo Championship held in Tokyo, Japan. Amid an atmosphere as intense as any world championship, top-tier athletes from various countries competed against one another. Of course, there was also an incident involving a ridiculous and regrettable refereeing error. Referees like that only lower the prestige of the tournament. That's not what I'm here to talk about, though. It is a demonstration by the All Japan Kendo Federation held on the first day of the event. The All Japan Kendo Federation is structured around three martial arts disciplines: Kendo, Iaido, and Jodo that share a single, deep-rooted foundation. In particular, this demonstration left a deep impression by perfectly showcasing not only the Kendo Kata we commonly see, but also basic Kendo technique practice methods using Bokuto, something rarely seen in Korea. If you're currently training in Kendo and feel a desire to understand the principles of the sword more deeply or learn other martial arts as well, you don't need to look far. Choosing one of these three disciplines offered by the All Japan Kendo Federation will be the most complete and authentic choice. In today's video, we'll take a detailed look at the world of martial arts as envisioned by the All Japan Kendo Federation. 1. Kendo. Since there are already many channels covering Kendo, I'll just touch on the essentials. Kendo is a martial art established after the Edo period, in which practitioners face off against an opponent using a shinai and hogo. It is not simply about striking an opponent, rather, it is a path to cultivating one's character through kikentaichi. There are four valid target areas in Kendo: the head, wrists, waist, and the thrust. A strike is only recognized as a valid point when it is executed with precise posture, a shout, and zanshin, the state of vigilance maintained after the strike. At the pinnacle of Kendo training lies Kendo Kata. This is a system for learning the principles of sword handling, timing, and breathing using a Bokuto rather than a shinai. By practicing 7 major techniques and 3 minor techniques in accordance with predetermined sequences, practitioners master the subtleties of the sword. Next, and most impressive part of the recent demonstration is the method for practicing basic Kendo techniques using a Bokuto. In Korean Kendo dojos, beginners are typically taught the 3-step men strike using either a Bokuto or a shinai. But in Japan, this practice method is treated as extremely important right from the beginner stage. This is a system standardized in 2003 to prevent shinai kendo from becoming overly sport-oriented and losing the principles of the sword. This practice method consists of a total of 9 forms, structured as follows. The appeal of this practice lies in the ability to directly apply the direction of the sword's edge, which is difficult to feel with a shinai, and the weight of the wooden sword. To actual Kendo techniques, I believe it is a core curriculum that is more practical than Kendo Kata. Next is Iaido. If Kendo is a form of combat where the sword is already drawn, Iaido is a discipline focused on responding to a sudden enemy attack while the sword is still sheathed. Iaido is also one of the main disciplines of the All Japan Kendo Federation, and all Ryu affiliated with the Federation practice the standardized Seitei Iaido 12 forms. There are numerous Iaido schools in Japan. The All Japan Kendo Federation compiled the core elements of each school to create the standardized 12 forms of Seitei Iaido, from the first form, Mei, to the 12th form, Nukyuchi. It includes sophisticated techniques that encompass both seated and standing postures. One interesting aspect of Iaido is its coexistence with Koryu Ryuha. Even if you practice a Koryu Ryuha, you can participate in Iaido tournaments hosted by the All Japan Kendo Federation, as long as you can accurately perform the Seitei Iaido established by the Federation. However, there are restrictions. You must belong to a Ryuha affiliated with the All Japan Kendo Federation and hold a Dan certificate issued by the Federation. In Iaido, victory is determined through demonstrations rather than sparring. 2 competitors simultaneously perform a predetermined form, and the judges evaluate the accuracy of the techniques, spirit, harmony between mind, sword, and body, and zanshin to decide the winner. The All Japan Iaido tournament is open to 5th Dan and higher practitioners. The final discipline I'd like to introduce is Jodo. While it may be somewhat unfamiliar in Korea, it showcased its unique charm at this Tokyo demonstration. I've covered it once before in one of my previous videos. Jodo is a martial art that uses a jo, a round wooden staff approximately approximately 128 centimeters long. According to legend, after the samurai Muso Kanosuke lost a duel to Miyamoto Masashi, he created Shindo Musoryu Jashu by combining the strengths of the spear, sword, and staff to overcome the limitations of the sword. This is said to be the origin of modern Jodo. The most distinctive feature of Jodo is that the sword wielder and the Jo wielder perform predetermined forms, much like Kendo Kata, since the Jo is longer than a sword but shorter than a spear. Both ends can be used with great flexibility. Jodo is not merely about striking. It deeply incorporates jujutsu principles, such as using the staff's length to press down an opponent's sword, or applying the principle of leverage to control an opponent's wrist. Learning Jodo dramatically improves one's sense of distance, since it teaches how to defeat a sword using a non-sword tool. It serves as an invaluable supplementary practice for Kendo practitioners and is a profound martial art in its own right. We often tend to think of Kendo solely as a competition to score points. However, what was demonstrated at this championship exhibition was different. Kendo, where skill is tested with the shine eye. Practice methods and forms that teach the movement of the sword using a wooden sword. Iaido, where one learns the sharpness and mindset of a real sword. Jodo, which transcends the limitations of the weapon. Through this demonstration in Tokyo, we showed the world that only when all of these elements come together is the way of the sword truly complete. If you are currently experiencing a plateau in your Kendo training or wish to experience the broader world of martial arts, I highly recommend taking an interest in these disciplines, systematized by the All Japan Kendo Federation. Since these disciplines are managed within the same federation system, their educational frameworks are highly logical and mutually complementary. I hope today's video has provided new inspiration for your training. Thank you.